before that, let's move ahead and have our invocation. Nate Kingsley is here from Van Town Community Church. Nate, would you lead us in the invocation, please?
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
all for
you.
serving.
Thank you for being here.
Father, thank you for this gift of government. It was your idea, and it is our need. So please help them today to do what is good and right. We would be restraining with evil and rewarding what is good. It would be for the common good of our community. So please help them as they make decisions and handle feedback or even critique, and just give them grace to do their job well. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Nate. Well, as you can see, we do not have a quorum. I'm expecting Bob Porter will be here. Chad Fuller, though, texted me this evening later about 5:30 and said he was ill and would not be here. Mike Connell has been pre-excused due to football practices, and he will be absent more than not until November. And Jake Puffer is on vacation. So we will not be making any decisions tonight. We won't be voting on anything, but we will have informational meeting. And I'm going to wait just a minute until Bob gets in here, and then I'll just repeat the first part again. Hi, Bob.
Good evening.
As you can see, Bob, we don't have a quorum. So we will just be having an informational meeting tonight. We won't be doing any voting, we won't be making any decisions. So we can move to calling the meeting to order. I can do that at 7 o'clock and ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Shirley, would you take roll call, please?
Sabrina Freeman.
Here.
Larry Lambert.
Here.
Mike Connell. Chad Fuller. Bob Porter.
Here.
Misty Lidle. Here. Jake Puffer. Jacob. Mike and Chad are absent.
So we will move down to pre-approved reports or presentations, and we have some awards to give out tonight. Misty Lidle is in charge of that.
Do you want me to stand at the podium when I do that, Dennis? Or just
You can
here?
stand wherever
Usually
you
in
want.
the middle of the horseshoe.
Wherever Dennis wants.
The horseshoe.
Pointing where I'm going.
They don't usually ask me.
There you go.
So I'm giving out 2 awards today. The Perry Pride Resident Award winner, so a very nice kept lawn, and she has actually a garden. It's 504 North Clearwater, and that's Alexandra Civic. And this would be her, I'm going to raise the desk here. This would be her award, but she's not here today.
Can I take a picture? Okay.
And then Put Your Best Face Forward Merchant Award goes to China Garden. Come up.
Oh, good.
They're just always so friendly and great staff, and the food is great too, so.
Okay.
Thank you for all you guys do. And then we do have honorable mention, sorry, I was gonna say that too, for the resident awards. We have 507 North Perry Lake Drive, that's Karen DeCarlo, and then 606 West Windward Way, Jim and Patricia Aldrich. Beautiful places.
Thank you, Misty.
Mhm.
And now in our pre-approved reports and presentations, Jamie Cromley is here from the Community District Library.
Hi. Hello.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Annual
you.
report time, you're welcome.
our fiscal year ends at the end of June, so these are just the statistics that we like to keep. We keep a lot more, but you probably don't want to look at them all. Does anybody else want anything? No? Okay. All right. First of all, a few highlights from last year. District-wide, I'll focus on the district-wide things. You know, there's seven branches in our district library system. And then Carol might talk about one or two things, highlights from the Perry branch specifically. So Carol is the branch manager, if you're not familiar, and I'm the director for the library system. But it's been a very successful year. We're basically pre-2020 usage, library usage. That involves circulation, traffic, door count, program attendance, that type of thing. So I'm very pleased about that. In our service area, we have about 28,000 people who live in our service area, and of those 28,000, we have over 4,000 who are active card holders. In our 7 branches, they're very teeny branches. They're small but mighty. We had over 68,000 people walk through our doors for the entire year. Our Wi-Fi and public computers were used over 9,500 times. And that's accurate because we have software that tracks all of that. Our digital borrowing continues to increase significantly and continues to get more expensive, of course. But we had over 21,000 downloads of our digital content. That includes books, ebooks, audiobooks that you listen to, movies, music, that type of thing. And when you add that to our physical checkouts of 74,000 items, we had about 95,000 checkouts last year. So people are using the library. We had over 700 programs. Programs include things like story times, magicians. It could be like Carol does a Taste the World with the teens, where they unbox foods from around the world and then they discuss about the culture. We have all sorts of programming, and that's always quite popular. But we had over 8,300 people attend our programming at all of our branches. So we're doing good. A big highlight from last year is the first ever community read in Shiawassee County. So we partnered with the other libraries in the county. We partnered with Langsburg, Vernon District, and Shiawassee District, and we brought in a award-winning author, Angeline Boley, who is the author of The Firekeeper's Daughter. I believe they're making her book into a television series. Yeah, so we did, it was a 4-month-long program where we had lots of Native American events and programs at all of our branches, along with the other libraries, and those were really fun. We had like 100 books to give away, and the people shared them amongst the community. And then Angeline, the author, she visited us at the Lebowski Center and had an author visit and signed books. So that was really fun. We'd like to do that again. Our summer reading program is always a success, and we had 948 people participate this year, so that was pretty good. And we passed the millage, so we're funded for another 4 years, so 4 more years of library service, so that was a
Very
good.
positive for the community.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add specifically for Perry?
Just thank you for everyone that comes and uses the library, and we've been getting a lot of new patrons too weekly, on a weekly basis, so everything's going really well. Check mycdl.org to find out what's happening, because I've got a lot of events planned now to the end of the year. So please look at it, and everything's going really well, thank you.
And we had fun as a fun night too, so thanks for inviting us. That was a lot of fun. I love the foam cannon. So next year I'm gonna do foam cannon. See if we can get foam cannon. So
That was the popular thing.
I love it. Yeah.
It was just a nice event too, to bring the community together.
Yeah.
very, very good, it was a good thing.
Yeah, the Parks Committee put that together. Yes, they did a great job.
And then one more thing too, the DPW department is phenomenal. I work with several DPW departments and it's always great to have them, you know,
Very
be
nice.
available for all these
Yeah.
little things that we have happen, you know, with the building or the, you know, the book drop.
The Perry guys are great.
Level or
Perry guys
whatever.
are great.
So we appreciate that.
We'll pass that
Thank
one on.
you.
We'll appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thank you, yes. They're a good crew, they're a good crew to have.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did you see an uptick, like with kids coming into the library when the school and you guys started working together? Because Amanda Abbazio said the high school said that somehow kids could check out books through the public library, but also through the school library.
Probably digital. Is
Okay.
it's, I'm thinking
I didn't
it's
know how
digital.
it worked, I just wondered if there
Yep.
was a little
So-
bit up. We're trying to push the library at our school
She
too.
would be able to answer that, but
I did have, I think 3 or 4 teachers ask for gently used books.
Oh.
I've been doing some weeding, so I had, what's her name, I can't think of her name right now, but she came and got, I think I had 2 or 3 bags of junior and young adult books. Then I had like the smaller classrooms, kindergarten, first, second graders. I had another 2 teachers ask, I had gently used books for them, so I was glad to give them
Nice.
for their classrooms to refresh their books,
Yeah,
so they really appreciated it.
yeah, thank
And
you.
I was glad to do it for them.
I think it's Sarah Schmidt-France, was she the one that asked for it? She's the
That-
librarian.
That name does not sound familiar,
Oh, no.
yeah, sorry, yeah. But like I said, did have a couple, I think one teacher was Brooke Holmes or Helms, I think. from
I know we've
there.
had a few new
Yeah, that was
hires.
for the young adult books, but like I said, I think I had 3 or 4 teachers, and they were very grateful and said that they needed updated,
Yeah.
books and stuff, so I was glad to
Nice.
pass those along.
Nice.
Well,
I
we
just wondered.
appreciate what a wonderful job that you both do, and we always hear positive things about our library. So thank you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
having us.
much.
Appreciate it.
Chris, I think you just came in, so since this is kind of a new thing for you anyway, I'll explain. We don't have a quorum today, so we won't be conducting any business. We'll just have an informational meeting, but we won't be doing any voting. Moving now into public comment, we'll still be doing that. And as always, we'll limit those comments to 5 minutes apiece. Is anyone here for public comment tonight? Mindy? Oh, wait just a minute. That's okay. That's all right. If you could give me your name, please.
My name is Angela Teichman. We've lived in this community for a little over 2 years, and we actually had lived on a farm previous to that. And unfortunately, due to economic circumstances, we had to relocate. And we fell in love with this little town, and we knew that we wanted to be here. And we were looking all over, and we finally found a house, and were able to move here. And I've been excited to be here, but then, and I know this isn't something you were talking about tonight, but I just want you to consider some things before you decide on the ordinance for the chickens. Because chickens have a lot of benefits. They provide fresh eggs, they provide garden fertilizer, they're great at pest control, they eat mice and bugs and other pests. They're relatively quiet, hens are, roosters obviously crow, but hens are pretty quiet unless they're doing their egg song or there's a predator around. Then you'll hear them, they will get loud for those short periods of time. They provide education on sustainable agriculture. And they are low maintenance, they're easy to care for. They're great at waste reduction. They're walking garbage disposals on 2 legs. They're excellent at that. They make great pets. They're affordable, and they provide entertainment. So those are all things that I just want you to consider. But also, times are tough. If you've been to the grocery store, you'll notice that egg prices and everything else just increases. It's ridiculous. So I really want you to consider, if people are taking proper care of them, and they're maintaining them, and they're not letting them go onto the neighbor's land, they're keeping their runs clean and things like that, in my opinion, they should be allowed to have them, because they provide them with food. And it's just like growing a garden. Everybody here should have some sort of backup emergency food supply. Our own government recommends that you have at least a 2-week supply in your home at all times. Because in the event you can't go to the grocery store, people that own chickens, people that grow gardens are gonna be the people that are sought out by people that are hungry. So I just want you to consider that when you're making your decision. And for anybody here that owns chickens, I encourage you to definitely do research. Contact the Department of Agriculture and find out about the Right to Farm Act. It's very good information for you to have. But I really think that people need to be able to have that, as long as they're responsible and taking care of them. Somebody that is not, that's a different story. But the person worried about the bird flu, you're more likely to get bird flu from eating your meats at the grocery store because they don't usually come from just one animal. And if you watch Food Inc. documentaries, they show you that those chickens from like Tyson Farms and stuff, they're raised in huge barns where they're packed on top of each other and sitting in their own waste all day. That is not how God meant for animals to be taken care of. So if they are taken care of properly, they are not a risk. And the latest cases of bird flu didn't even come from chickens, they came from dairy cows. So that's just something I just want you all to consider. Please consider that. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Angela.
Thank you.
Mindy, I think you had your hand up.
I have to read because you know I can't talk. So,
Well, speak up so everybody can hear you, please.
so, after watching the city council meeting held on August 1st, I was compelled to come tonight and share my views about our ordinance. I am so sorry you are being attacked for upholding the ordinance. I appreciate that we have rules in place and consider these rules a protection against those who feel they should be able to do as they please without regard to other people. While I don't pretend to love every rule on the books, I will abide by them and respect them. And I appreciate the hard work being done to update and clarify the ones that we now have in place. Furthermore, I have heard you more than once make it clear that anyone can attend those ordinance meetings and contact ordinance members that if you have concerns about any ordinance, you've offered that more than once. So, I just feel that sometimes if we try to have a conversation instead of attacking, we learn a great deal. We can learn other views and the reasons behind certain ordinances. It can be very enlightening. As far as chickens are concerned, I do not feel it's appropriate in the city. While I do feel that they are very cute, fun to watch, educational, in my own experience, when they're not properly cared for, they are going to wander. And they are going to be all over the neighborhood, upsetting other people's animals and making messes. If properly taken care of, on a big enough piece of property, it might be fine, but in my experience, that's not how it went. So that's all I have, except I would like to, I didn't catch your name.
Angela typed it in.
Angela, I really, really appreciate what you just had to say. And you gave your opinion without being mean and without attacking. And I appreciate that. And I respect your opinion because of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, Mindy. Is there anyone else here for public comment today?
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. And just state your name, even though I know it.
My name is Christopher Method. Yeah, becoming a little familiar, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of comment on some things that have already been said. It keeps coming up about chickens being properly cared for, since we're on the subject. I think it is a fairly easy thing to say that we can all agree that they all need to be properly cared for, just like dogs, cats, any number of other animals that people keep, right? So I think it's a pretty simple matter of if we allow permits for people, it's a very simple matter of going to someone's home and looking at their home, and if they have junk everywhere, they're probably not going to be real good about taking care of stuff if they're not good taking care of the property, right? Kind of go hand in hand. I think that's a pretty simple matter. But I do agree that improperly cared for would be bad, which is why there are guidelines, there are standards, right? And as far as the idea that it would go badly, anything can go badly. Lots of things are put out with good intentions and then go badly. Lots of things. Some things that are in place now go badly, but they're allowed, right? I mean, that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to ruffle anyone else's feathers, right? But
Oh, that was cute.
I believe that in this country, we all have our freedom. And unfortunately, sometimes freedom means putting up with other people or things you don't like, because they're free to do it. I'm free to stand here and say whatever I like. You don't have to like it, but I'm free to say it. I don't like hearing semi-trucks engine braking at 3 in the morning and waking me up. Train engines wake me up at 3 in the morning too, okay? I don't like that, but I can't complain about it. I can complain about it all day. I mean, I can complain about crows cawing in the morning too, although I rather like them, right? There's all kinds of stuff. And I don't mean to try and tell anybody that their concerns are unwarranted, because that's not the case. Everybody has their own. I just would like to say that I don't think anyone has an intention of ignoring anyone else's feelings or wants. I don't think that's the intention at all. Additionally, just as I may have all received, I had sent you all a lot of some factual information about chickens and
Yes.
some background information, and I'm still digging for more. One other thing I would mention, chickens have been domesticated for 8,000 years. Right? It's almost 2025. That means they've been domesticated for what, 4,000 years, 6,000 years before Christ. I think we know what we're doing by now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here for public comment tonight? I will ask Shirley if she has any communications to share.
I didn't pass anything.
Okay, all right. I do not have any reports tonight, so moving to committee reports. Larry, I think you have some
Yeah, I
ordinance.
just wanted to let everyone know that we will be holding a ordinance committee meeting on Monday, August 26th. That's a week from this coming Monday, and that will be held at 7 p.m. here in council chambers. Recognizing the comments that we had there again at the last meeting, we're going to shift to an evening meeting and see if we can make certain that everyone has the opportunity to comment. Both pro and con, or for and against, and the primary purpose of that ordinance committee meeting will be to continue our discussion of the city's chicken ordinance, if you will. We're going to keep an open mind about those that are in favor, those that are not in favor, and we're doing also a lot of research right now with what other communities do and what their criteria are, etc. So we look forward to anyone that would like to participate in that meeting. Once again, it will be a week from Monday, 8/26 at 7 p.m. here in council chambers.
Thank you, Larry. Moving on then, because we can't do that, I will just speak to the master plan and apologize to Genevieve Cottrell, who's the chair of that. planning commission and just let her know that we will be tabling that event to our next meeting.
Do we have to motion to table all this stuff or not?
No, it's around a quorum.
Oh, that's right.
We can't vote on that.
Sorry, okay, yes, sorry.
You're right, Bob, thank you. And we can't do that, and we can't do that, and we can't do that. Council, do you know of anything else that you want to discuss tonight or put on the agenda for the next meeting? Other than the things here that we're just going to move ahead. We'll move everything forward to the next
I
meeting,
have a few things
okay?
for next meeting, so
Okay,
already.
Shirley has a few
I don't
things.
remember what they are.
She doesn't remember what they are, okay.
I have a question, I don't know if it'll be on the next one, but Fairy Fest is coming up, does that come on to the city?
We don't
No,
have
we
a
don't.
Perry Fest.
Oh,
No, but that, if I could,
There's a
guess
car show,
there's a
is that
car
what you're
show.
thinking
okay,
of?
because that
So
took
there's
the
a
place
car
of
show.
Fairy Fest,
Right.
right? It's the
I
same
left-
time.
Yeah, they
It's the
support,
the
Okay.
24th.
coincide, but then
Hold
Prairie
on a
Fest.
second.
Window.
Kind
I have it right
Okay.
here. That's one thing I did want to talk about. Sorry, thanks for reminding me.
Okay.
September 21st, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., car show up here at City Hall.
What's the date again?
The 21st of September,
Okay, all right.
10 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Are there vendors there, or they're just, it's just a car show?
Food vendors on site, door prizes. Yep. And then they award 50 awards. It's like $20 to register.
I think there's quite a few flyers posted around town for
Yeah.
that already.
Yeah, and they have some
Jackson
flyers.
has up.
Yeah, I have some flyers.
They do a nice job with that car show. It's very well attended. There's always lots and lots of people here. And I think mostly they have vendors here to feed the people who have their cars here.
Mhm.
Although many of them do go to the local restaurants too, but it's pretty much the car show. If you were interested in being a part of that, the contact information from Stu
Is on the flyer.
is on the flyer.
Do you have an extra one? Is it on the website as well, the car show flyer?
I'm not sure if
I'm
I
not
can
sure
just
if
put
it's
that
on
in
there
there, but I
yet
do
or
have
not.
flyers for that also.
Oh, okay, so there's flyers in the
Yeah, I
back if
just-
anyone else wants one, okay. Thank you for all the members.
Any other discussion or observation, public comment? This is one of the shortest meetings on record because we are now adjourned, 7:23.